14 Kentuckiana districts back in class today. One of them, one of our bigger ones, is Hardin County. Parents, here's what you need to know. This information comes straight from the superintendent. First, the district is fully staffed with bus drivers, so the routes are ready to roll this morning. Just remember, all 13 elementary schools, with the exception of Lakewood, will release 1 hour early on the first day. That would be around 1:15 this afternoon. Superintendent Terry Morgan also wants parents to expect busier roads as the new Blue Oval plant moves into Elizabethtown, a huge thing for that area. The district also anticipates higher enrollment in the coming months.
We understand Fort Knox is going to be bringing in some soldiers. We want to welcome all of those families to Hardin County, and that's sometime in October, but they let us know that they'll be bringing in about 500 troops, and that equates to about 1,200 students.
Hardin County schools are also hiring, with about 20 positions open in the district right now. Superintendent Morgan says these are mainly in special education and high school math and science. Those interested can apply on the district's website.
And today, for the first time ever, JCPS students will fill the halls of Echo Trail Middle School.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that middle school is brand new. It's located near the Parklands in eastern Jefferson County, and its curriculum is focused on consumer sciences, business communications, and engineer design pathway courses.
That our students are going to have access to a variety of things, which they should in the middle school experience.
I'm excited because it's also going to be all people my age and everything's new.
Indeed. Now, the school does have some more construction ahead of it for the gym, the cafeteria, and some of the pod areas.
Other districts returning today include Breckenridge, Greene, and LaRue. That is just to name a few. You can find a full list of school start dates on the WHAS11.com homepage. Now
to the largest school district in the country, JCPS. Officials sent out a note to parents asking for patience as the district rolls out a new start time system. We'll have more on that here in a little bit. We do have some more local news for you here at 6:04. Louisville Metro Police are looking for suspects after a shooting sent 2 men to the hospital. It happened around 7:30 last night on South 27th Street near Elliott Avenue, which is in the Russell neighborhood. Police say the 2 victims were alert on the way to the hospital and are expected to survive. Anyone with information here is urged to call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. Remember also, there's the online portal for your use.
The homeowner of a house filled with dangerous chemicals is trying to stop the city from burning it down. The attorney for Mark Hibble, the owner of what has been called a toxic house in Highview, has filed a motion to stop its destruction. He says it's to preserve evidence. In a new motion, he argues Hibble had the chemicals because he's a former chemist. He also says right now there is no implication Hibble possessed anything illegal or got the chemicals unlawfully. The motion argues if the city burns the home, it will unnecessarily destroy all of Hibble's belongings and in the process destroy evidence that could be used in his defense. Hibble's attorney is asking for a hearing before the city burns down the home.
All right, so we've been talking about back to school, obviously, and JCPS, the largest district in the state, putting a lot of focus on that because today begins really the biggest overhaul this district has seen since the mid-70s.
Yeah, the district has been talking about that a lot lately. They have quite a few changes to come, and one of the biggest that we've heard from parents about is going to be the new bus routes that are starting today, along with the start times. Jim is live now from the Nichols bus compound with more on that because Jim, leaders of the district have acknowledged that there will likely be challenges today.
Yeah, Grace and Eric, there's a lot of changes you mentioned. Most changed in close to 40 years for the district. Buses are a big part of that. It's something that parents are very concerned about. We've heard a lot of concern from parents. Mark Hebert from JCPS is joining me now. And Mark, we've talked a little bit with Carolyn about the amount of change for the bus routes. This is new to everyone, and I think that's something that we need to stress is there's going to be growing pains with a system like this.
There are going to be growing pains. There are going to be growing pains today because all the bus drivers have new routes this year. So they've had to be practicing for the last week or so just to figure out where their new stops are, what streets they're supposed to be driving down. So the bus drivers are learning everything new. Everybody's learning something new. The kids, teachers, parents, everybody. So just hang in there, be patient. show some grace. We'll be all good today.
Yeah, and there is going to be naturally some anxiety with parents, especially because of all the change that's going on. Also trying to balance with making sure their kids have a great first day. But I think something important to emphasize is once those kids do get in the building, school is school, and the normalcy will set in.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, the first couple of days of school are always pretty exciting. The kids are all amped up. The teachers are ready to see them. But things will settle down eventually over the next couple of days, and they'll settle into routine, and we'll be all set. But I think the teachers that I talked to yesterday, anyways, I was in a couple schools yesterday, and the teachers just pumped. They're ready. They're ready to see their kids.
Yeah, definitely. And the kids, I'm sure, are ready to get back in those classrooms and see their
most
teachers.
of them.
Most of them. Yeah, some of them are probably still thinking, hey, I'd love to be on summer break. But Mark, thank you for joining us. Eric, Grace, we are going to be back with more. We're expecting to speak with more officials and see these buses start rolling out in full here in just a little bit.
Like, what do you mean? The wave pool at Kentucky Kingdom is still open. It can't
They
not
said
be
it's
summer
still
anymore.
hot outside. I don't want to be there. Jim, thank you. Unfortunately, kids, you do have to head out to the bus stop. If you're having some issues, if you have any questions, parents, about the route or your bus stop, call the number on your screen at 502-485-RIDE.